Fenway Park in Boston. We're set for Game 4 of the American League Division Series presented by Good Sam. After the Rays took Game 1, the Red Sox take Games 2 and 3, and from last place last season to a win away from the American League Championship Series. Welcome inside. Hope you're having a great day. Joe Davis, the Hall of Famer John Smoltz. Ken Rosenthal joins us in a moment. We talked right at the start of the series, John. These 5-game series can turn so quickly, and the Rays were on top of the world after Game 1, winning 5-0. They were leading early in Game 2, but the Sox come back and win that one, and then a crazy game last night. Suddenly it's Boston on the verge.
Yeah, this game was played on the edge of your seats all night long. Of course, it was played long into the night, but one cannot, you cannot imagine this kind of play in a postseason game, yet alone a regular season game. I have no idea what this rule was when it happened live. I've never seen it in my life, but it was a rule that was absolutely held to its core, and it was right, and the Rays weren't able to score a run there. And then in the bottom half, as you know, the momentum switches, as you talked about, Joe. This was a huge hit that's turned this series. But speaking of hitting and speaking of offense, it has really been a tale of two.
Yeah, and for Boston, the offense carried them for much of this season, and they got shut out Game 1. J.D. Martinez comes back, and they've scored 20 runs over the last 2 games.
They've been outstanding. They've been locked in. They've got players in the right spot at the right time. They're hitting with runners on. They're getting the leadoff batter on. This offense is as good as advertised as was the season. They're clicking. They're confident. The Rays are going to have to try to slow them down.
Yeah, and it's a different story, as you said, for the Rays offense. They had those 5 runs in the first inning of Game 2. They've scored 5 runs total since.
They've got some guys that need to check into this series. They haven't gotten a hit yet. They need Nelson Cruz to come up big. Their young players have been the stars, but their offense has really gone on the brink. When you think about their lack of contact early in the season being an issue, it showed up again. They have struck out way too much. They don't have room for error. To get back to Tampa, they're going to need some big hits tonight.
Yeah, they had 20 strikeouts in last night's game. Tonight they will face off with Eduardo Rodriguez and Colin McHugh, the first of what will be many pitchers for the Rays as they try to keep their season alive. 100 wins during the regular season to lead the American League. They'll need 2 straight to advance to the LCS. The Red Sox 1 win away. We've got first pitch coming up from Fenway Park. Low 60s here in October at Fenway Park. Game 4, the American League Division Series. Red Sox a win away from the ALCS. Joe Davis, John Smoltz, and on the field, as always, here's Ken Rosenthal.
Joe, the managerial wheels already are spinning. Colin McHugh will start for the Rays, but likely go no more than 2 innings. From there, pretty much every Rays pitcher will be available, and yes, that includes Shane Baz and even potential Game 5 starter Shane McClanahan. For the Red Sox, Alex Cora wants 15 outs out of Eduardo Rodriguez, but the Rays suspect that they might be seeing righties sooner rather than later. They've got Austin Meadows in the lineup, even though he batted just .121 against left-handed starters in the regular season. Meadows is there to counter any righty that Cora might summon, and one of those righties could be Tanner Houck, who would be on 2 days rest after throwing 61 pitches in Game 2. Joe?
Everybody's in play, Kenny. We've seen 36 pitchers over the first 3 games of this series, and really 11 of the 13 Rays pitchers available, 11 of the 13 Red Sox pitchers available, all hands on deck again here for Game 4. And for Eduardo Rodriguez, 28-year-old out of Venezuela, really a second chance after he failed to make it through the second inning of Game 1.
Yeah, second chance to be a great one for the Red Sox. They are in a position where they can knock out the Rays, and look, he knows, having pitched all year, what adjustments he has to make from game to game. The biggest thing is he hasn't pitched great at home. For some reason, his splits are a little bit different, so he'll need a good start here at home in a raucous crowd that was on point yesterday.
Yeah, it was amazing here in the wild card game the other day, and then just like last night, and now smelling blood in the water. 1 win from the ALCS. Take a look at the lineup that Eduardo Rodriguez will face off with. Brought to you by Good Sam. Randy Arozarena leads things off, and then it's Wander Franco. 20-year-old has not disappointed here in his first postseason. Brandon Lau, a different story, though, looking for his first hit of this ALDS. With Nelson Cruz batting cleanup, Then Jordan Luplow, who had the grand slam in Game 2. Yandy Diaz at third base. Austin Meadows back-to-back starts. Zunino catches, and Kevin Kiermaier out of the 9th spot in center field. So it was a 5-0 win for Tampa Bay in Game 1, and there were some people saying, my goodness, this may be over quickly in Tampa Bay's favor. And then they explode again in the first inning of Game 2, take a 5-2 lead. But things turn quickly. Red Sox rally to win that game 14-6. And then 6-4 last night in 13 in a game they're going to talk about for a long time.
Yeah, well, the Rays are built top heavy. And I mean by that is their top of their lineup is where they're trying to get most of their production. The bottom part of the lineup, you get anything out of there, it's a bonus. So that speaks to the first inning success. But as the game has gone on, they have not really been on point offensively, and it starts with this guy, Mr. Excitement for the Rays.
That is Randy Arozarena. This is the first pitch, and off we go with a foul ball and strike one. Got 9 of the 15 runs the Rays have scored in this series have come in the first. They've gotten multiple runs in the first inning of all 3 games. And Arozarena, the spark plug at the top, takes a ball. It's 1-1.
Throwing strikes, that's going to be the key for Rodriguez. That allows him to have his changeup back in play. His changeup's above average pitch. The difference between the velocity in his fastball and the off speed, key.
Checked first, no swing, ball 2.
He's one of those easy throwing guys that when he's going good, you don't notice the velocity, but the hitter doesn't pick up on it. So it's kind of one of those late life, come out of your arm, come out of your hand and go right to the catcher. And when he's throwing strikes, he's going to have a great game.
His 2-1 pitch, a little bit high, ball 3. He said it, he simply just didn't have command like he does when he's right in that game in Tampa Bay. And now makes his 3rd postseason start, 10th postseason appearance overall. He's given up 11 runs in 11 2/3 in the postseason in his career. It's full on Arozarena.
But you can already see by the swings of Arozarena, he's late, right? So that tells you what the fastball does when it comes out of his hand. It's late and late life. And not every pitcher has that heavy feeling when they throw a ball.
First batter of the game, Arozarena is making him work. We'll do the 3-2 again.
The way that I explain it, we play catch with a guy. Sometimes you think you're going to catch the ball he's throwing and the ball gets to you first. So that's that late life. Whenever you hear that talk about pitchers having late life, the radar gun doesn't show always late life.
He's got more swings and misses on that fastball than ever this year. Goes to it here, driven to right center field, towards the gap. Renfroe lunges and makes the play. Hunter Renfroe for the first out of the night with an exclamation on it.
Well, Rays fans and Rays players don't want to see that ball in right field have anything to do with what happened last night, and Renfroe was part of that last night, and he already took away possibly a triple. I didn't think he had a chance until the last second. You see him stretch out and catch the ball. That's an outstanding play. Wow.
Red Sox fans used to seeing him do his thing defensively. A lot of that, though, is with his arm. Here he does it with the range and with the glove. And after a thrilling Game 3, a thrilling start to Game 4. Wander Franco. A high strike. Well, this 20-year-old has done exactly what he did during the regular season, John, and that is live up to the hype so far in the postseason.
He's been incredible. I mean, multiple hits, and you wouldn't know he's in a playoff game. He just is enjoying baseball. Except he's not enjoying that right there.
No fun, sir. Well, you said it, 2 hits in all 3 games so far. Got his first postseason home run last night. Going the other way over the monster. Ouch.
Really has done most of his damage this year against left-handed left-handed pitchers. Power and average.
Including this guy here. In fact, first hit of Wander Franco's career was a home run against Eduardo Rodriguez. And in his first 3 games, he's already on this list. Consensus top prospect in all of baseball. He's graduated into one of the top rookies in baseball this year. Had he been in the majors a little bit earlier, certainly a bigger part of the conversation for Rookie of the Year. That'll probably be won by his teammate Rosarena. One gone first inning, 1-2 pitch.
That's out.
Done a good job cutting down strikeouts. He's not a high strikeout guy. At least he hasn't been the last 15 or so games or days. He's been pretty good at putting the ball in play.
Something the Rays have not been able to say collectively. He takes low, and it's 2-2, and he brought them that dimension when he came up in late June, because especially early on they struck out a ton. Those numbers got better as the year went on. He was a big part of it. One of the lowest strikeout rates in the American League. So advanced, so mature as a hitter. His manager Kevin Cash looks on as he waits on a 2-2. Strike three, way up out of the zone.
Wow.
The home plate umpire Ron Kolpa establishing a high strike zone through 2 hitters.
Yeah, it's hard to defend this call, and I'm a pitcher. I mean, that is, first of all, it's unhittable. Second of all, it's above the zone, and you can see it's at his arms.
I mean, Vasquez is reaching up for it.
That's not a good call, but that's going to benefit both sides if it stays that way, especially the breaking ball of McHugh. But Rodriguez will benefit the most.
A little help from his defense, a little help from the home plate umpire, and 2 up, 2 down for Rodriguez. Much better start than game 1, where first 2 hitters reached and scored. Brandon Lau swings and misses at a first pitch slider. It has been a nightmare for Lau. He's 0 for 14 in this postseason with 6 strikeouts. Top 2 hitters on this team during the regular season, when you include Zunino, combined 1 for 26. Kiermaier, bottom of the order, 1 of 11.
Power and strikeouts are what the Rays have been.
Back-to-back sliders 0-2.
But he's searching mechanically, he's searching mentally, and the postseason the last 2 years have not been kind.
Rodriguez looking for a 1-2-3 first. Sliders yanked down the line, hooking, foul. Lau hoping that coming here to Fenway Park can change his fortunes. He's been a great hitter here in his young career. 6 home runs, a lot of them right down the line like that, and 3 of them against Rodriguez.
Yeah, there's the numbers. That's not a small sample size. That's legit.
Another 0-2 pitch. Got him this time with a high heat. And a 1-2-3 first inning for Rodriguez. A little bit of help from his right fielder Hunter Renfroe, who is living an adventure these couple days in Boston. That man right there is hot as anybody, Kike Hernandez. Here it is, the starting lineup sponsored by Good Sam. Schwarber led off last night's game with a home run. Then Hernandez and Devers, Bogarts, Verdugo, and J.D. Martinez through the heart of the lineup. Hunter Renfroe reached 4 times last night. Vasquez last night's hero, and Christian Arroyo out of the 9th spot. Those are some healthy averages through 4 games in the postseason for Alex Cora's Bucks.
Man.
And Schwarber bounces the first pitch right side. Wander Franco charges and gets him. So the first man on the mound for the Rays tonight is Colin McHugh, but the first of many. They've got just about everybody available.
Yeah, it'd be a bonus if he went 3 innings. Let's just say that. And I think the fact that he's had experience in the postseason, very low batting average against, and the fact that he can spin a baseball will be just fine for Kevin Cash if he goes through the lineup once. I don't think he's going to go through the lineup twice. That would be the plan for Kevin, to mix and match and try to play a little desperate to get back to Tampa for game 5 and then worry about it back there.
Got a career year for the 34-year-old. Comes home to Kike Hernandez. Spins one to the knees for a strike. Hernandez 8 for his last 12, 2 home runs and 3 doubles. That included a stretch where he went 7 for 7, matching the postseason record for consecutive at-bats with a hit. On this 0-1, Hernandez punches one to right. Arozarena comes on and makes the play. Both right fielders with nice plays in the first inning.
You got to remind yourself when you're up here in the booth, you see the left fielder and how short he is. The reason is because the left field wall's short. There's so much room in right field. It looks like he's playing 100 yards deeper. And so these 2 right fielders, Arozarena is a little more athletic, but you already saw 2 pretty good plays in right field, and right and center field are going to be key because that's not 1 base. Those are 2 bases when they get by you. That's how important center field and right field is here at Fenway Park.
2 gone first inning for Rafael Devers, who has a hit in all 3 games in this series. He's knocked in a run in the last 2, and he's done it while battling a right forearm injury. Red Sox pretty close to the vest on how severe that injury is. Obviously not too bad with him out there still.
Nope.
Takes high, and it's 1-1.
Well, the only thing that Rafael Devers, if he could do one thing, is the moment gets pretty big, his swing gets pretty big, and the bigger his swing gets, it looks like the more pain or discomfort in his follow through, especially with the ball up.
Down the line, Arozarena won't get to this one, and a 2-out base hit for Devers, who has a hit in all 4 games of the division series.
But the ball down, for whatever he's dealing with, the ball down, he can get to barrel the bat to the ball. And you see where this pitch is. It's right down to the point where he doesn't have to make that awkward follow through and swing up and get that bottom hand to go on top of that high pitch. And so what he's able to do is when the pitch is down, it seems like it's the normal Devers. When the pitch is up with velocity, it's not. And it's been painful to watch him deal with that pitch location, and then of course whatever he's dealing with.
He's on, and Bogaerts is up. Bogaerts had been splendid over the first few games of the postseason. Kind of jarring to watch him go 0 for 5 last night.
Beyond jarring, and that would be unnerving if you're McHugh today.
Yeah, right. You don't figure the way this guy's been hitting the last week or so, and the way he's been typically to the postseason, going to have back-to-back bad nights.
Yeah, and he does take a lot of first pitches, but what he's comfortable doing, he hits great ahead in the count, he hits great behind in the count, and he hits better than anybody just about with 2 strikes. So that makes him a complete hitter.
One of the most well-rounded players in the game. 0-1. He puts it in play left side. Franco charges. Quick trigger. Good arm, but not in time. He beats it out. They'll check it as it stands 2 on with 2 out.
Yeah, what'd you think live? I thought he was out live.
Yeah.
This is another great pickup of coming in and making the transition from the glove to the arm so quick and firing. And this view should tell us pretty close. It's a lot closer than what we've seen up here 30-40 feet up. But I still think he's out.
Yeah. Plays like this that remind you how perfect the diamond is, how perfect the distances are.
It is amazing.
Right?
Yeah, he's out.
Yeah.
All right, this shouldn't take very long.
Showing that replay, the fans see it, they know what's coming. The second inning.
This crowd's great, man.
On to the second we go here at Fenway Park. No score as Nelson Cruz gets ready to lead things off with his 18 postseason home runs. The veteran Nelson Cruz leads off the second, and here's Ken Rosenthal.
Joe, normally it's Kevin Kiermaier who addresses the Rays after games, but last night Nelson Cruz spoke up. He is renowned throughout the sport for his veteran presence. According to Kevin Cash, his message was brief, it was subtle, it boiled down to, we got this.
And Nelson Cruz has not hit since the Rays got him at the trade deadline, but he has been a consistent leader, mentor, a veteran example. It's been very good, they say, for Wander Franco. Put his locker right next to him. And those things obviously hard to measure with numbers.
Yeah, he's just been late at the plate. The ball is getting on him, and he hasn't really come through the way we're used to seeing him on pitches in the zone. So for the Rays to continue this deep run, they need him locked back in.
Outside.
Rodriguez tried to get him with a changeup, took it for a ball. Does have a home run in this series and now 18 in his postseason career.
Yeah, we talked to Kevin Cash about that, and I asked him, you know, how the team dealt with last night, because players have emotions.
Strike 3 call.
And it can be tough unless you've got some veterans that really change the time to think about it, right? Because you've got night to go to bed and the next day, and you think about what could have been, and you can find yourself feeling real sorry for yourself unless people are able to come in and say, all right, let's go. We focus. We won 100 games. We go in 2 in a row. We won 2 in a row 50 times, or whatever the case may be. So that's important.
Ron Kolpa bringing a couple of hitters up early in this game. 3 consecutive strikeouts for Eduardo Rodriguez. And now Jordan Luplow made a name for himself in game 2 with a first-inning grand slam against Chris Sale.
There's a funny saying that goes around baseball that if you're going to have a team meeting or hold a team meeting, make sure your best pitcher's on the mound that day.
Because then it always becomes a good meeting, huh? Smart.
Nope.
Yeah, you don't want to be saying, well, I got to know what he's talking about in the meeting after you go get blasted. 2-0 on Luplow, who the Rays acquired for this specific purpose of hitting left-handed pitching. So specific of a purpose that they're having him play a position he's never played just to get him in the lineup to do this. He's at first base. Career outfielder, had never played this spot before they got him at the end of July.
I'm just trying to imagine what it would feel like to hit a grand slam and then get tapped on the shoulder and say, okay, we're pinch hitting for you.
Yeah. 2-2. I mean, it's the way they operate all season. And it's deal with it or get out. The Rays way. For every edge they can get, in a lot of ways, that's putting together 2 players with different skill sets, combine them and make one really good player at that position.
Well, of all the years that you could make a case for what the Rays have done, I would make a case this is probably their most special year. And I don't mean like they got to win the World Series for it to be special. Just what they did this year with a new cast of players.
That is 4 consecutive strikeouts for Rodriguez. This one on a filthy changeup.
Worked his way back in the count, got to 2-2, and then there's that changeup talked about briefly about how important that is to take the pressure off his fastball. And so far he has made atonement for the previous outing he had in Tampa.
Boy, and a lot of the talk after that game 1 was, have we seen the last game in a Red Sox uniform for him? That's balling on Yandy Diaz because he's a free agent at the end of the year. The tone was that the series is probably headed Tampa Bay's way. But getting another chance here in game 4 and looking like a different guy. Off the end of the bat, 1-1.
Well, he has the burden of everybody else thinking his stuff is way better than he may think. And that is the burden of a pitcher when you connect with it and you understand your mechanics, which is the key, first of all, to understanding how you can go to the next level, but then trusting your stuff and believing your stuff is as good as what everybody else says. Because if you don't believe that, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks.
Bounce to third. Devers. 6 up, 6 down for Eduardo Rodriguez. Okay, we'll come back and play. Okay. Red Sox having himself a postseason so far. And leading off this second against Colin McHugh. Verdugo hitting .368 with a home run in these 4 games, 3 in the division series and the wild card game, as he continues to endear himself to this fan base. And he's talked about how much he's loved his time in Boston.
Outside.
I don't know if you saw, but press conference the other day, he had, and Alex loves jewelry, but he had this big chain with this huge pendant, and it had a Boston logo on it. Somebody asked him about it, and he said, yeah, that's just kind of my nod to how much I love this place. And they've started to love him back. 2-1.
Well, he loves right-handers this year. He's done a nice job against right-handed pitchers. And he certainly has been as connected as anybody in this lineup. What I mean is not a lot of off balance swings. Seems like his timing's perfect, almost as if he's tracking the ball as well as he ever has.
Backdoor 2-2. Martinez and Renfroe to follow in the second against McHugh. Kicks and fires. We'll do it again.
So he's been good against right-handers. A pretty big split. He's been great at home. Another pretty good split. So he's pretty comfortable right now. This scenario seems to fit his eyes.
Yep. He's always been a good two-strike hitter. One of those well-rounded bats Boston has. Leads off this second. And lifts a fly ball to center field. Kiermaier's got room. Edge of the track, puts it away, one gone. Well, I don't think it's any mistake that the Red Sox offense took off when they got J.D. Martinez back. After he missed game one with an ankle injury, suffered in the final day of the regular season. Took it right up until about an hour before first pitch on Friday. He went through BP to make sure that he could put all the weight he wanted to on that front foot. Said, I think I'm good to go. He got 4 hits that night.
Yeah.
From the time that he entered the lineup, John, it's been a different group. Goes after the first pitch. Kind of a side spinning liner and a sliding play.
Wow.
Kevin Kiermaier and defense all over the place, stealing the show early.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say this is a great matchup for J.D. Martinez against a curveball throwing machine. And McHugh, he has crushed curveballs and breaking pitches off of right-handers. And sure enough, he did that. But Kiermaier, who seems to be everywhere he needs to be and at the right spot, he loves, I'll probably guess that he loves that more than hitting a home run. And that would be tough for most guys, right? They hit first, glove second. I think he takes so much pride in playing center field that right there excites him about as much as anything. It would excite me if I was a pitcher.
Used to do that shagging. He'd go run around making plays.
Used to drive everybody crazy doing that too.
1-0 on Hunter Renfroe, who, besides being at the center of things in that 13th inning play last night, reached 4 times, 2 hits, 2 walks. He takes a strike, and it's 1-1. Having a good series against his old team.
I need a fly out to center field here. I messed up my scorecard in pen.
You got it. Oh my goodness. Speak it into existence. It's a 1-2-3 second inning with nothing but flies to center field. Back at Fenway Park, Game 4, the American League Division Series. Red Sox lead it 2-1. Austin Meadows leads off the inning. Eduardo Rodriguez delivers, and a check swing, foul ball, strike 1. Rodriguez, who failed to make it through the second inning of Game 1, is perfect through 2 here.
Yeah, he's been really good, and that fastball wavered a little early, but he worked his way back into counts and used that changeup. But he's staying out of the middle of the plate. That's the key. You stay out of the middle of the plate against the Rays, you got a chance to strike them out.
Meadows, who had a home run last night, cracks it foul, 0-2.
The Rays are in a mode. I mean, I know it's it's early in this game, but they need something to go their way, a bloop or something that goes opposite of what they feel like last night and the start of this game. It's like you're in this mojo of a town that the fans are locked in. They know what's at stake. The Rays need something to happen out of the ordinary, and that can be a. You always say when you're in the dugout, a bloop and a blast, but anything that changes the momentum, you got to jump on. But it does start with getting what we saw the Red Sox do all day yesterday, get the first guy on and create some kind of a rally.
Meadows here in an 0-2 hole, though. Rodriguez comes back downhill. 4 of the first 6 hitters have struck out after 20 struck out last night. The old demons of the first half reappearing for the Rays. One and two. Meadows takes low and in, ball 2. 27 home runs during the regular season, drove in 106. That was top 10 in the league for a guy that was an all-star in 2019. Former Pittsburgh Pirate. On a 2-2 pitch. Takes inside, count is full.
A lot of people are thinking that might be a hidden farm team for the Rays. They have made a few deals that have worked their way, have the Rays with the Pirates.
One big one that he came over in, the Chris Archer deal. Also brought him Tyler Glasnow and Shane Baz.
Other than that,
yeah, that's it. So you get a guy that was an all-star in Meadows. Glasnow was amazing when he was healthy. Baz, part of the future. Payoff. And the next pitch is going to be the 8th to Meadows.
yeah, Baz definitely is going to be one of these guys that he's learning as he goes. He's tremendous stuff. That game 2 was probably a little bit. I mean, it happens to everybody, right? When you look at this trade, but he's got a dynamic arm. He just needs that third pitch to start coming along, and he's going to be having them Rays fans buzzing over what he's capable of doing.
Good chance you could see him at some point tonight. Baz on the right. That's Glasnow on the left. Another payoff. Meadows fouls it again. And a guy who strikes out a bunch is fouling a few here. Doing his best to kickstart this Rays offense. 9th pitch coming from Eduardo Rodriguez. No score here in game 4. Payoff. Foul again.
That was a big theme yesterday. Foul balls galore, especially out of Zunino.
Yeah.
Just battling, but every pitcher that came in the game were making great pitches with 2 strikes when they had to, as opposed to game 2 seemed to be the opposite, right? A lot of bad pitches with 2 strikes, and the offense just clobbered it.
20 runs in that game combined.
Still buzzing over what Houck did and what Pivetta did for the Red Sox. That to me, if you look back and would see what happens the rest of the season, postseason, to see how long they're able to benefit from that. But those 2 outings were game savers for the Red Sox.
On the 10th pitch, Meadows fouls it one more time. We mentioned Pivetta and Houck. Pivetta 4 shutout innings last night. Houck pitched in game 2, 5 innings, just 1 run. And there is a good chance that at some point tonight you'll see Houck again. And last night, of course, the Vasquez game, the walk-off home run, but in a lot of ways the Pivetta game too, with what he did, doing his best 2018 Nate Eovaldi impression. On the 12th pitch, Meadows, another foul ball. That'd be one thing if this was, say, Wander Franco or Yandy Diaz up there, guys that are really hard to strike out, put the bat on the ball. This is not that guy usually.
No. If he threw a high fastball, you'd get him right now, but that's a tough pitch to throw 3-2 leading off the inning. He's throwing the kitchen sink at him, though.
Battle wages on. 13th pitch. Went with a high fastball. It's popped up. Out of play. And the day of the Boston Marathon. Here comes the 14th pitch from Rodriguez to Meadows.
How'd you do in the marathon today?
Real fast. Yeah, really good. You?
My alarm did not go off to get ready for that.
You run it back tomorrow? Maybe we do our own. Over a quick 26-miler. Here it is again. This is unbelievable. Mardos just refuses to go down, and Rodriguez is like, this is that video game boss that just won't die.
Yeah, well, if this was a game where you would expect Rodriguez to go 7 or 8, which is not that game, this at bat would be going a long way to hurting his chances to go deep in the game, because normally this at bat requires 3 outs for a pitcher in an inning. 14 to 16 pitches.
Half his pitches tonight in this at bat. The next will be the 16th.
Somewhere along 5 pitches ago, you're fine if you walk them or give up a hit. It's now when a pitcher is on the mound and this scenario happens, your brain's going, come on. All right, let's go. Enough. What pitch can I get to either get him a swing and a miss or an action ball?
It wages on for another from Rodriguez, and another foul ball.
The high pitch would get him. It's either ball 4 or strikeout, right? And you don't think about that when you're battling in an at bat like this. You're just thinking about, I'm going to get him out with this pitch down in the zone.
Seventeenth pitch. Meadows succumbs to a slider.
Well, this could have been the at bat that I was talking about, where the Rays needed something to kind of go different, and that would have gotten their bench fired up. Unfortunately, what was that, 16, 15 pitches? 17 pitches later.
Alex Cora's sitting over there in the Red Sox dugout. He once homered on the 14th pitch of an at-bat back in his playing career. It's a ball on Mike Zunino, who had a rough night last night. He went 0 for 6 and struck out 4 times. On the hands, shallow center. And an easy play. Look how the bat went as far as the ball did, and Arroyo caught it. I beg your pardon, it was the 18th pitch that Cora homered on back in his Dodger days. Fox Bet Super 6 giving you a chance to win $5,000 of Big Papi's money during tonight's game. It's free to play. Just enter now before the contest closes for your chance at $5,000. Scan the QR code now. Download the app and play for free. So Rodriguez has retired the first 8 that he's faced. And now Kevin Kiermaier punches it to third. There's Devers. After the 18-pitch at bat, the 17-pitch at bat, a couple quick outs, and 9 up, 9 down for Rodriguez. Oh, we knew the Rays would be aggressive, and here is Shane McClanahan, who fired 5 shutout innings in Game 1, replacing Colin McHugh after 2 very good and very efficient innings. Last night's hero, Christian Vasquez, takes ball 1.
I can't say I'm surprised anymore about what the Rays do, because a lot of it works. But what I am a little bit surprised is this, at this point, with him being a starter, I would think that Kevin Cash wanted him to start an inning, simply put. We knew that Colin wasn't going 3.
Oh! And what they didn't want was Colin McHugh to face Kyle Schwarber twice. That righty-lefty matchup, and it would have had to have been, if they wanted McClanahan to be the guy in after that, it would have had to have been mid-inning if that was the case. Not
well,
with you, though.
Chess match has started, and 13 pitchers probably going to be used again today in this game, and put your seatbelts on.
Vasquez with a base hit into center to lead off the third.
Well, the 3 starters for the Rays, you add up their innings on the year, and it's just 10 more innings more than Nathan Eovaldi one guy. So to just show you how young they are and how inexperienced these moments are, they're learning on the job, which is pretty cool for them and benefits them in the future. You just hope they can live up to what they were able to do in the stretch run for the race.
Leadoff man on. Here's Christian Arroyo out of the 9 spot. Goes after the first pitch, flies it to Arozarena. That is out number 1. Vasquez tagging and thought about going. Draws the throw, gets back.
Vasquez is just filled with all kinds of adrenaline from last night.
He's a little froggy, isn't he?
night.
You don't blame him. Guy that Alex Cora says just loves the moment, loves the environment, loves the pressure of the postseason.
Well, this kid on the mound's special, and he's thrown into an environment that's a little unique now because he was primed and ready to start game 1, which he did, and then game 5, which he either hoped didn't come because they won it already. And so now you change the element, and I don't know what the plan is for how many innings, whether he can finish it, whether he can pitch 4, 3, well, time will tell, but it is different than preparing to start for a game.
Well, he went 5 innings in game 1. That was on Thursday, a day shorter rest than you would normally have as a starting pitcher, and he doesn't typically go that deep anyways. In fact, 7 innings and 100 pitches just 1 time this year. It's average under 5 per outing.
Right.
And that's with full rest. Faces Schwarber here. 1 on 1 out. The scoreless 3rd inning. 2-0. Let's check in with Kenny.
One thing this series demonstrates, guys, is how much the Rays miss Tyler Glasnow, who underwent Tommy John surgery in June. They started the season, they had picked up some veterans. Colin McHugh was one, Michael Wacha, Chris Archer never really worked out. Rich Hill, they ultimately traded because they had too much pitching. Turns out, not quite enough.
Yeah, it's amazing to see what this staff has done to win 100 games, and only 3 of this roster's pitchers were in the playoffs last year. Totally different, basically, bullpen and starting staff, and give them credit for didn't miss a beat during the regular season.
4-pitch walk to Kyle Schwarber, and the Red Sox have him in 1st and 2nd. Well, this is the group that started in the World Series last year. Of course, Glasnow lost for the year with Tommy John surgery. Snell traded to the Padres. Morton, they decided to not pick up his option. He's now part of that Atlanta staff that is dealing in the division series against the Brewers. And Ryan Yarbrough left off of the roster after struggling late. So it's 3 rookies in the rotation.
Well, it would be. People would think I've lost my mind if I started this series by saying the Rays won 100 games, but they need to win this series quickly. If a team wins 100 games, you think they're well balanced and can handle it all. Well, now you're starting to see why winning this series quickly was beneficial for them and the way they're set up now. In a best of 7, you know, they just want to be able to get to a best of 7, so they have to win these next 2 games. But the Red Sox are built totally different. They have more prototypical starters that are built to pitch longer, and so you're seeing now this kind of helter-skelter going to mean 6 or 7 pitchers per game for the Rays to continue and reset if they're able to do that for the next series.
Visit from the pitching coach Kyle Snyder. Red Sox with the first threat of the day for either side, and it's Kike Hernandez.
And the reason I say that is they're not afraid to bring in their high leverage guys in the 4th and 5th. Well, for that to work, it has to work, because if it doesn't, then you've kind of put yourself in a bad spot to win those other games that you don't have long guys to carry the load. They're going to ask every pitcher to pitch tonight.
Hard to sustain it over a longer series. It's a ball on Hernandez. And this becomes a longer series when they're trying to chase from behind.
And again, as dominant as he was in game 1, he was in his element. He was starting the game, and now he's coming out of his element to try to keep the game scoreless. Not saying he can't. I'm just trying to explain the different mentality that it takes for a pitcher who's made 25 starts this year and doesn't have 10 years under his belt.
Yeah. Debuted in the postseason last year in relief, obviously at the alternate or the neutral site in Texas. Gets a swing and a miss here as the bottom falls out. And then there was really no question coming into the division series who the guy was. He earned that spot. But as you said, I mean, they got him an quick outing in New York, final weekend of the regular season, just because they're still trying to check those boxes of pitching in big road environments.
Right.
It's ahead of Hernandez. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One of the hottest hitters in baseball takes it inside and it evens up.
Well, once you get used to the environments, you understand what you can use the roar. You on the road, you want it to be a dull roar. It's always going to be loud in a postseason game on the road. The crowd is evidence of right now. But if it's dull, that means you're doing your job. There's not people on base. They haven't scored. If it's loud and ruckus and everyone's standing up, that means you've got traffic and you're hearing the pitch. The pitch of the crowd, meaning you're hearing that volume louder than you want to. You try to block it out, but you hear it and you just want it to be dull.
24-year-old rookie deals 2-2. So the rookies that they've run out there this series, the 3 starters, McClanahan, Boz, and Rasmussen. McClanahan was obviously great game 1. Boz just 2 1/3. Rasmussen just 2. And then Patino last night gave up the walk-off home run. And both teams burning their supposed game 4 starters. Pop fly, short left. Meadows. 2 out. It's obviously Patino for Tampa Bay. Pivetta for Boston.
If he gets through this inning, when he gets in the dugout, it'll feel more normal when he goes back out. It won't feel like a relief appearance, if that makes sense. When you come from the bullpen in the middle of the game, you know it's different. So for the Rays, and however long they would want this young man to go, pretty big at bat right here.
And a pretty good hitter up there, Rafael Devers, who singled his first time. Attacks the first pitch, hits it a ton, straight away center field. Gone! Boy, it scraped the sky, and when it came down, the Red Sox lead 3-0. Xander Bogaerts. 1 out away from getting out of the inning. Instead, Devers, a 3-run home run.
Pretty amazing, this kid, all that he's been through.
Base hit left field. 3rd hit of the inning for the Red Sox against McClanahan.
Well, we've been talking about where the pitch should be against this young man, and you see the ball down. He's got a chance right there, center cut, right down the middle. Anything up and higher, he's been having a hard time with that one hand coming off the bat. Well, that swing right there, he hasn't had many of them maybe in this series. That might be the biggest one.
Verdugo takes a strike. Shane McClanahan had given up 3 earned runs in his previous 5 starts. He gives up 3 on 1 swing.
I know it's going to sound like I'm trying to come up with an excuse for the young man. I'm not. It just is that much different, and that's why just sensing that at bat, that approach, without the mindset of starting a game and getting a feel for the game as a starter, was going to be that much more important for him, and unfortunately for him and the Rays, it didn't work out. Devers, tremendous 3-run homer.
And the count 2-1 on Verdugo. Well, teams that out-homer the opponent in this postseason are 11-0. The Red Sox riding the long ball in this series, hitting 5 home runs in Game 2, hitting 3 home runs last night. And getting a home run here in the 3rd from Devers. Now it's Verdugo sending one towards the monster. That ball is off the monster. Bogaerts races home on an RBI double from Alex Verdugo, bringing Fenway alive, and it's 4-0.
Short, quick to the ball, using that wall that a lot of great left-handers that have been in this ballpark. This is a confident offensive team. They're showing it. They're flexing it.
One base runner through 2 against Colin McHugh, who was pulled after throwing just 18 pitches. 4 runs in this 3rd inning against McClanahan, and a check swing, ball 1, J.D. Martinez.
And we're not surprised by that, because that was what was talked about and the formula for what they were going to have to get through the game. What I'm a little bit surprised about is that I didn't think he was in the mix for this early in the game. Now, if it all works out, it looks great, but it hasn't worked out so far.
All 4 of these runs have come with 2 out.
Yep, and that's huge. That's what the Red Sox have been. That's why they're a beast offensively. But I understand you've got to win this game to have a Game 5. So Game 5 starters don't matter if you're the Rays and you're down 2 games to 1, right?
You chase it. You worry about Game 5 if you get there. So JT Chargois warming. Kevin Cash thought that he could probably get 1 hitter out of Chargois, who's pitched in all 3 of the games in this series, threw 20 pitches last night. It's a foul ball. Renfroe due next. Verdugo at second, 2 away. Another 1-2 pitch. Outside. Wraps around the plate and evens the count.
It's amazing. 3 outs in a postseason are much harder to get. You think, well, 3 outs in a regular season should be the same. It's really not. And as evident to the Red Sox relentless here with 2 outs, trying to keep this inning going.
Inning started with a Christian Vasquez base hit. Arroyo flied out. Schwarber walked. Hernandez flied out, but then the blast from Devers. Back-to-back hits, Bogaerts and Verdugo. And now 3-2 to Martinez. Is hit in the air. Left field towards the wall. And another base hit. Banging off the monster. A long single. A 5-run third for the Red Sox. And it is unraveled on Kevin Cash and the Rays here in the 3rd inning. American League Division Series presented by Good Sam. Red Sox have batted around here in the third inning. JT Chargois comes on for Hunter Renfroe and delivers strike one. Well, they thought they could get one hitter out of Chargois, who's pitched in all 3 games in this series and threw 20 pitches last night, and trying to get out of this inning with him doing just that. This is drilled to left center field. Another one off the monster. Into second with a double is Renfroe. And the hit parade continues. I mean, it looks like BP right now. Just rocket after rocket.
Well, again, these guys have been pitching a ton the last 10 to 12 days, and you come in and face guys over and over and over again. The hitter starts getting the advantage the more he sees you in a series, and obviously the more you pitch, the less precise you can be, and really that's the discussion coming into this series. You go back to game 2. The Rays took that 5-2 lead after game 1, after first inning, and you could see almost not a head drop of the Red Sox, but an opportunity lost, and then Chris Sale doesn't stay in the game. Well, the Rays don't win that game, and they haven't really. It's been tough since then because the way they've had to use their high leverage relievers have all been early in a game 3 when they were losing, to keep it going to get to the 13th inning, and then eventually they tied it up and lost. So it's kind of been difficult to watch all these guys have to come in over and over and over again and expect them to be great every single time.
Vasquez, who started this inning with a single, came in to score. Red Sox, since the home run, since the grand slam allowed by Chris Sale in the first inning in game 2, outscoring the Rays 25-5.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a total flip of the script, and some high leverage guys did not pitch in that game too, right? So it's great when everything works out, and then it gets a little chaotic when you're in a position where you've got to ask guys to kind of extend themselves beyond what's normal. And the good news for the Rays, the only good news, is there is 6 more innings to try to take care of it. If this had happened, obviously in the 7th inning, it's really deflating.
Look, I mean, the offense has not been good the last couple of days, but on the season, over a 6-month season, it was one of the top offenses in baseball, and they're one of the best come from behind teams in baseball. Vasquez down swinging. That does it for the 3rd, but the Red Sox explode. All with 2 out. It started with Rafael Devers launching a 3-run shot to center field. There would be more, and after 3, it's 5-0. 9 up, 9 down for Eduardo Rodriguez, who's got a 5-0 lead now. Faces the Rays lineup for a second time, and it begins much differently than the first time through as Randy Arozarena pokes a base hit into right.
Well, the right part of the lineup for the Rays to try to, if nothing else, get a point on the board. It's a huge inning to feel like they're back in it if they can get their offense going, and better start than that right there for the base hit.
Well, he had been the first Red Sox pitcher to go 9 up, 9 down in a postseason game since John Lester did it in Game 7 against Tampa Bay in 2008, which was won by the Rays. So leadoff hit for Arozarena, and now Wander Franco took strike 3 on a pitch that was letter high his first time. Goes right back to that level, and it's a ball.
The other thing that changes in the postseason is a 5-run lead seems like a 2-run lead to the manager. He's looking at every scenario, and really the old adage is the pitcher should never give a manager the reason to think differently, and that's true mostly, except for now the leash is way shorter than it ever has been. As to the point that someone's up right now. 5-run lead. That's when you know it's a postseason game. Leadoff hit, 5-run lead, and a guy gets up.
Yep. Get ahead of it. It's Ryan Brazier. 1-1 pitch in the dirt, ball 2.
But again, see, that goes back to my game 2 when the script was flipped with the Rays having the 5-2 lead. A little more luxury at least there, whereas I think Alex is like, I ain't playing around with nothing. I'm going to bring the guy that I would normally bring in the 7th and 8th inning if need be in this inning, because he knows the Rays top 5 guys in the lineup is where they can do their damage.
But the idea of getting ahead of it, right, it's good, but it can backfire.
Yes,
we just saw it backfire on the Rays. Colin McHugh was really good through 2 innings. Could have kept going, but they anticipated some trouble coming, made the move, 5-run score.
And I honestly think that had to do with trying to get a starter in a reliever's role to start the inning versus have Colin face the last 2 guys and then bring in.
Back on the infield. Schwarber got it. T-Mobile covers the most interstate highway miles with 5G. Home or away, stay connected to your team with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G coverage.
As opposed to bringing in a guy to just get one guy out.
Yeah.
In Schwarber, where he didn't want him to face the starter twice. So it's amazing how certain things can happen, and you pre-script things because you have to and you should, and then you try to adjust based on the way the game or the feel of the game's going. But one more out and things would have been different.
All 5 runs for the Red Sox coming with 2 out. Brandon Lau fouls off the first pitch. Struck out his first time and is 0 for 15 in this series. They're just really not in a good place. You saw in an 0-2 count square around a bunt last night. It's kind of a picture inside his psyche right now. For a guy who hit 39 home runs, drove in 99 during the regular season, was a monster over the last couple months. This has not been able to figure it out in the postseason, back-to-back years now.
Left-handers on the year, he hit under 200. And part of that being in the lineup, of course, what we already talked about, thinking that Rodriguez wouldn't stay long in the game. Well, he's proven that wrong because he's dealing right now. But also a lot of what Lau, and it comes with tension, right, and wanting to do good and chasing results because he knows what happened last year in the postseason. Then you start out poorly and all of a sudden the narrative grows. Sometimes your body gets out in front of you, you're opening up quicker than you want to, and there's a lot of components that contribute into lack of success now when you had overall success in the regular season.
On a 2-1, he fouls it back. 2-2. Yeah, it's become a thing now, right? He's got to be able to block.
Yeah, that's the problem. And what his manager was hoping, and I'm sure what Brandon was hoping, is, oh, wait a minute, he's coming to Fenway.
Unlock
he's
it.
Crushing here.
6 home runs in this ballpark, as you mentioned the first time he was up. But in another 2-strike count here. Against Eduardo Rodriguez. Some redemption going here in game 4. After the bad game 1. His 2-2 pitch. Yep. Got him swinging. 6 strikeout. And 2 gone in the 4th.
See that front side and front hip. He's fooled by the change of speeds, but he's already gone. He's already committed. The rare lefty-lefty changeup. That's been a pitch that over the course of his career, not many lefties have probably done that to him, but he struggles with that pitch.
Couple quick outs after the leadoff hit, and now Nelson Cruz, who took strike 3, caught his first time. Popped up on the right side of the infield. Call from Arroyo and the catch. That's the inning. First base runner of the day for Tampa Bay, but nothing to show for it. Welcome back to the 2021 American League Division Series presented by Good Sam. Welcome back to Boston, where the Red Sox scored 5 runs in the 3rd inning. 9-hitter Christian Arroyo leads off the 4th against Andrew Kittredge. And there is strike 1. Kittredge, their top guy out of the bullpen for much of this season, an all-star for the first time. And pitching on back-to-back days here. So it's 1-1 on Arroyo. Quietly he's had a good series against his old club. 3 hits last night, had a 2-hit game on Friday. Leading off this 4th inning. Cracking a ground ball to short. Franco, clean hands, 1 gone. The MLB postseason continues later tonight. Game 3 of Dodgers-Giants on TBS. And then tomorrow, Game 4 between the Astros and the White Sox that postponed because of weather today. That'll be at 1:30 Eastern here on FS1. Tomorrow evening, Game 4, the Brewers-Braves series and the Dodger-Giants series. Max Scherzer goes for the Dodgers tonight against old Dodger Alex Wood. How about the pitching for the Braves? A lot of pitching and a lot of Jock Peterson off the bench.
Yeah, that Jock Peterson 3 pinch hits, pretty amazing. That's already.
Schwarber popped up, short right. Lau drifts out there and puts it away.
Well, we said that there was a good chance that Braves and Brewers series wouldn't score as many runs as the entire game of Game 2, and it looks that way. 20 runs in Game 2. They're at 9 right now. And both offenses kind of mirror each other in ways that you can pitch to them. If you make mistakes, Braves are going to beat you with homers. But Milwaukee's definitely trying to play a 6-inning game. They want the lead, and then it's done. And it's kind of gone the way I thought it would go in that series so far.
Chance could be headed for a rematch in the National League. Kike Hernandez was part of that NLCS last year with the Dodgers. 0 for 2 so far today. What a series he's had, though. Accused foul. He just loves playing this time of year. I love playing when there's a bunch of people in the stands and they're all making noise, and some guys are just built for this.
That's a real thing. I know a lot of people try not to quantify that or think that that's a repeatable act, and there are guys built for certain moments, and let's just say the moment doesn't get them carried away or off their game or too amped up. It actually works in their favor.
Chopper, Lau, well positioned. A 1-2, 3-4. The name Tampa Bay down there in Tampa Bay. Of course, Tom Brady and the Bucs winning the Super Bowl. Lightning, Stanley Cup champs, are going to raise the banner tomorrow. And the Rays, #1 seed in the American League, 100 wins, franchise record. Going to need to come from behind here in Game 4 to force Game 5 to help Tampa Bay become the first city to do all 3 of those things at the same time.
Well, they need that unexpected inning, something unexpected. I keep saying it's changed the fortune of where they are right now. I know a lot of people may not believe in momentum and what happened last night and the carryover effect, because in baseball you're only as good as your next day's starting pitcher. Well, the next day's starting pitcher was pretty good, but he only went 2 innings.
Yeah. And then they got those 5 runs against Shane McClanahan. Jordan Luplow leads off this 5th and takes strike 2 from Eduardo Rodriguez, who's given up just 1 base runner through 4 innings. What a bounce back start for Rodriguez, who didn't know if he'd get another shot, not just in this series but in a Red Sox uniform. His 0-2, his grounded foul. It's kind of been the thing throughout his career, right? He had the finally that breakout 2019 season. Last year lost because of his battle with myocarditis, a heart condition stemming from a bout with COVID that he had during summer. And then this season, bad first half, got it going in the second half. Kind of stop and start, one step forward, one step back. Luplow reaches out and gets that by Devers. Looked like it kind of fooled him and knuckled by his glove.
Yeah, he jumped and the ball might have been head high. I'd be interested to see what had happened on the replay.
Huh.
Maybe that's step one of unexpected. That ball was typically you'd think was going to be caught more times out of not. And it might have done something funky here, whether it was with the lights. Yeah, that's off the glove. He thought he had it.
Weird. So first man in scoring position for the Rays. Yandy Diaz at the plate. Grounded to third his first time. The Rays during the regular season averaged more than 5 runs per game. One game won 5-0. Had 5 runs in the first inning of game 2. They've scored 5 runs in 2+ games since. On an 0-1 pitch. Diaz takes it inside and the count evens. 100 wins, the most in franchise history. Them being around this time of year is nothing new. 3rd consecutive postseason trip. 7th trip over the last 14 years since they started this great run in 08. But for the first time, it felt like real true expectations where they no longer were the underdog. They were no longer Cinderella. Everybody kind of expected the Rays to move on. A lot of people expected the Rays to be the last team standing. But here they are facing elimination and needing a huge rally to keep their season alive.
Well, they definitely have to score this run. I know they're going to try and score bunches of runs, but they got to get one on the board first.
Diaz flips it down the line. It's peeling. It's foul. And it has been a good offensive team. It's always been a good run prevention team, but this team, one of the best scoring teams in baseball. You go back to that 2008 team that broke through, won their first American League championship. They're a pretty good offensive team. They had some good offensive teams early on there in Longoria's tenure, but recent seasons near the bottom of baseball in scoring runs. A little bit better last year. They're up into the top half of the league. But this year, first in ERA, second in all of baseball, trailing just Houston offensively.
Well, I'll give them this. They beat up on every team they had to beat up on, right? And that could have been a difference for some teams making the playoffs and not, because there were some historically bad teams in the American League this year. And they did it. They trounced those teams.
2-2. Check in with Ken Rosenthal.
Well, keep in mind, too, the Rays are playing in one of the great divisions since divisional play began. Only the second time we've had 4 90-win teams in one division. The first was the AL East in 1978.
Over the final weeks, Kenny, they were the only sure thing coming out of the East, with the Red Sox and the Yankees and the Blue Jays all battling for a spot. 5-game series, though. It can all end so quickly. Yandy Diaz, very tough to strike out. On a 2-2 pitch from Rodriguez. Goes up to get it. Flies it to right center field. Playable for Kike Hernandez. Luplow tags and heads for third. Hernandez guns that way. Close play, but safe. What an arm.
I mean, this is on the money, and about 230 feet of throwing a baseball right on in the air to the third baseman. A little offline, but scary play if you're Rays down 5-0.
Right. Boy, it's really close on that arm, too. Red Sox not a good defensive team overall, but one thing they've done all year is throw dudes out. They've got some cannons in the outfield.
Yeah, he almost slowed up too much to slide, right? That kind of slowed him down. He's going to be going in full speed on that slide.
Outside. Ball on Meadows. Yeah, down 5 runs at 90 feet. Whew, you got to really weigh if that's worth it. All is well that ends well for Tampa Bay. Luplo's at third with 1 gone for Meadows, their top RBI man. Grounds it to first, and that aggressive play by Luplo will get them their first run. RBI for Austin Meadows. Luplo in to score, and it's a 5-1 game.
That helps. It's a start, right? Turns them kind of going a little positive. You get stuck in neutral and get a little negative.
Only the Red Sox had more comeback wins than Tampa Bay this year. Base is clear now with 2 out. It's the catcher Zunino. One of the best home run hitters in the American League this year. Cuts and misses. And this year's been a lot more of that than it has power. A lot of home runs and a lot of damage against left-handers all year. Here he gets it off the end of the bat. Schwarber to the bag. Ends the inning. Rays get 1, but that's all they've gotten against Rodriguez. Through 5 innings, what a bounce-back start for the left-hander. Biggest swing of the game belongs to this man, Rafael Devers. 2 out, 3-run home run to start the scoring in the 3rd inning. They got 2 more 2-out runs in that inning, all against Shane McClanahan. They lead 5-1. And here he is to lead off the 5th. Takes ball 1 from Kittredge. 20 RBIs for him already in the postseason. And for guys before turning 25, that puts him tied for 3rd. They might not be here if not for his offense in the final couple days of the season, especially that last day. 2 home runs in Washington. Lead them will come from behind win to get into the wild card game, which they'd win.
Yeah, he's been unbelievable. I mean, he's just progressed as a hitter over the last 3 years, even defensively. Maybe if there's one thing Alex would like to see him do is use that wall a little more, but
outside.
How can you complain with the numbers he put up this year?
Yeah. Last year wasn't bad. It's just he's established such a high bar at such a young age. I mean, he's still just 24, and it feels like he's been here forever. Ahead 3-1. Debuted as the youngest player in the majors in 2017. He was barely 20. He had some big hits right away. His first postseason had some big hits that year. Best year this year, though. 38 home runs. On a 3-1 pitch. Floats it to left center field. On the move is Meadows to make the play in front of the wall. We look back at his home run on StatCast, powered by Google Cloud.
Well, good swing, short, compact, a little less of that violent because it was down. He knew when he hit it pretty good. Whether or not it was going to creep out or not, that was the only thing he was waiting to find out. And it was so huge for the Red Sox with 2 outs.
Punter would love that hang time.
Yeah.
I think it was up there forever. Coverage team all over it. 1 away, and here's Bogarts. Strike 1 from Kittredge, who's retired all 4 that he's faced. 2-2. And there is Tanner Houck. We may see at some point in this game. How much can he give Alex Cora? 2 days of rest after 5 innings in game 2. Here's the 0-2. Here's ball 1. On a 1-2 pitch, Bogaerts fouls it. We'll do it again.
Mentioned it about Bogaerts and how consistent he is in every area. You just find a statistic and it's consistent. Home, away, ahead in the count, behind in the count, 2 strikes, first pitch, runners in scoring position. Pretty much the backbone of this team when it comes to him and JD being so complete in every area.
He's really blossomed into a leader too. After debuting when he was 20 like Devers. On another 1-2 pitch, flies it to right for Rosarena. 2 up and 2 down. Predict which players will stack the most total bases each day during the postseason. Compete to win 20 grand. Enter MLB Base Chase presented by Michelob Ultra at MLB.com/basechase. See official rules for details.
So you just got to pick the player.
Yep.
You think they'll get the most total bases. So if you've been on Kike Hernandez,
oh
you're
yeah,
probably doing okay.
You're winning. Yeah, you got a chance to win 20 grand. Oh yeah. Who you got? Say in the Dodger Giant game tonight. Most total bases.
You got Alex Wood going against Scherzer.
Yep, ball 1 on Verdugo.
That's a good question. You know, I like to do my homework.
I know. I put you on the spot.
I would say, you know, I'm going to go on. It's not a limb, but I'm going to say Trey Turner.
Okay. I'll go AJ Pollock. 2-0.
Alex Wood's probably going, oh, really,
yeah,
guys?
Yeah,
okay. All right.
He's the kind of attitude, he's the kind of personality that
I know. I love Alex. Played with him. Or obviously been around him when he's with the Braves.
Oh! So you Venmo me 20 grand if Pollock leads the game in total base. Is that how that works?
That's how it works.
Okay. And if Turner does, we'll laugh about how we joke that we'd trade each other 20 grand if that happened. 2 balls, 1 strike. Kittredge comes home. Verdugo fouls it, and it's 2-2. One for 2 with an RBI double, and came in to score. He was in that 5-run third. Trying to keep the inning going for Martinez. Pitchers retired all 5 that he's faced. He deals 2-2. Verdugo climbs the ladder and lifts a fly ball to left center field. That'll send Meadows to the edge of the track. A 1-2-3 fifth. On to the 6th inning at Fenway Park. Eduardo Rodriguez, who failed to make it through 2 innings in game 1, is through 5 innings and has given up a run on 2 hits here in game 4. He delivers ball 1 to Kiermaier.
And we talked with Alex Cora, and he was hoping that he could get 15 outs. Well, he got 15 outs, and if he gets 1 more, it's probably his last one. And here to face the lefty and then maybe turn it over the rest of the way to the bullpen.
Showed Tanner Houck getting loose. He's ready to go with the righty at the top in Rosarena. Houck shut it down in game 2. Let the Red Sox rally. Try to shut it down in game 4 to hang on and send them to the ALCS. Here's his 1-1. Pop up down the line, charging hard, but won't get there. And it gets by Verdugo, allowing Kiermaier to get into second. So the leadoff man aboard and in scoring position, back-to-back innings for Tampa Bay.
And back-to-back unique doubles, like one could have got caught and one was blooped in. So he'll get a good hand from this crowd, who will recognize the job that Eduardo Rodriguez did.
Yeah, such an up and down career for him in Boston. One of the high points right here in Game 4 of the division series. Most of the summer, stemming from that heart condition. Comes back this year. Took him a while to get going. Awful Game 1 of this division series. Redemption here in Game 4. Turns it over to the bullpen and Tanner Houck, who's on for the top of the order, and Randy Arozarena. Houck saved the day in Game 2, replacing Chris Steele, and going 5 innings, gave up just 1 run.
Yeah, he was nasty. Part of that run that he had pitched in relief, a perfect game, a little bit more than a perfect game. And right now, he doesn't have to be perfect. He just has to avoid the big runs or the big inning for the Rays. And that's the thing. The Rays are going to, they're running out of time, so they have to score this run again. They're looking for a crooked number. But the one thing that the Red Sox have done a better job of against Arozarena is when they get him out, they've gotten him out with fastballs in, and then the sliders away. He becomes not very good because his backside's kind of leaking.
3-0. Well, the Red Sox are hoping that as they turn it to their rookie hurler, things go a little better than when the Rays made that decision, bringing in Shane McClanahan, who gave up 5 runs after his dominant performance earlier in this series. Houck had a similarly dominant performance. And now here he is in Game 4. Falling behind 3-0 and finding the zone there. He's 25 years old, out of Collinsville, Illinois, which is just outside St. Louis. First-round draft pick in 2017. Struggled badly early on in the minors. Wondered if he wanted to keep playing. Didn't know if he would quit, go get quote-unquote real job. Stuck with it. Reached the majors last year. His 3-1 pitch is hit in the air to center field. Hernandez drifting back with room. Kiermaier heads for third, and he's got all kinds of speed. Even the best throw wouldn't have gotten him.
Well, it's just unique. You don't see many outfielders do what Kike Hernandez just did. Now, the chances of him throwing him out were slim, but he got so far back that when he approached the ball to catch, he had momentum going to the bag. Very few guys mechanically do what Kike just did right here. You see a lot of outfielders kind of flat-footed at times and relying on their arm. I mean, he could afford to throw it knowing there wasn't no ramifications other than he wasn't going to throw it in the stands.
Yeah.
He was getting behind the throw and giving the best chance he could to throw it to third.
He's super athletic, and he's really technically sound, really fundamentally sound. He's been playing since he can remember. Longtime scout for a dad, growing up in Puerto Rico. And remember, Kike Hernandez is an infielder by trade.
Yeah.
1 away in the 6th. Rays trying to get 1 more back. Wander Franco, their best hitter in this postseason. Cracks it in the air to center field. Hernandez going back on this one. It is gone. Franco and the Rays say not so fast. A 2-run game on a 2-run shot from the kid.
Have we mentioned that he's pretty good?
Oh. Exceeding the hype. And in the same way that quickly the bullpen gives up something for the Red Sox or for the Rays, it happens to the Red Sox. games with a home run for Wander Franco. And now it's Lau.
There's just something to be said. Look, when you're putting together a script, it's not like football where you script out plays. You think this is going to work, then that's going to work, and then this is going to work. And most time it probably does. But there is something to be said for a team's mentality where, like, man, we didn't touch that guy, so whoever you bring in next, maybe we got a chance. And then you start finding cracks in the armor and you start creating some momentum. Baseball is really about that. And we got some great arms that on both teams that if they could keep pitching because no one's hitting them. But that's just not the way it's scripted. You know, short spurts, get him in, get this leverage guy, do this here. And the Rays are thankful.
Yeah, some nights it's like anybody else, right? Even if Houck was great the other night, just a different look.
Yeah.
Lau chases, and his nightmare continues. 2 gone. We should get another look at Franco's home run.
Well, he was going to try to get the ball in the air, of course, to get the run in, and he got both accomplished. He got the ball in the air and he got himself in. So this kid is so strong that he hit to one of the deeper parts of the park, and that ball jumped off his bat. And it's one of these games again now where you just want a fighting chance. When you're down 5-0, you know what you've got to do. It's whether or not you can do it to be in position the last 3 innings to have the tying run come to the plate. The Rays are chopping down that lead.
Got a homer from the 20-year-old. Now the 41-year-old who has 18 of them in the postseason. A little bit late here, as he's often been lately. Nelson Cruz behind 0-1.
Yeah, normally you'd want to get ball away and down and spinning, but right now he's not catching up to a lot of fastballs. So you might have to adjust your game plan based on what you know going into the game and what he's doing.
Pop fly, right center. Hernandez and Renfroe converging. Renfroe's got it. Middle 6. Brand new ball game. Wander Franco, the consensus top prospect in baseball, has graduated to postseason star.
Yeah, when you touch my hand and talk sweet talk.
Years ago, was hitting rolled up socks wrapped in tape with a tree branch. Has a 2-run home run here to cut the deficit to 2 in the division series as J.D. Martinez pierces one into center field, just past a couple of diving Rays for a leadoff hit. Doesn't give us time to let you know that Luis Patino is in the game less than 24 hours after allowing the walk-off home run.
It says a lot about this young man. You just can't imagine what it was like last night to walk off the field after that heartbreaking game, but told his manager he was good, hoping to redeem himself with some quick outs here. But that was a quick pitch and a quick result for the Red Sox.
Up comes Renfroe. Lumen on deck, as you saw. Christian Vasquez, the guy that homered against Patino last night. Strike 1 from the 21-year-old. It's yet another kid out there for Tampa Bay. He's out of Colombia. One of the key pieces in the Blake Snell trade. He's ahead 0-2. One of 28 big leaguers out of Colombia. Becoming a bigger and bigger sport there. There are actually 10 active this year from Colombia. His 0-2 pitch is outside. Edgar Renteria, Orlando Cabrera, probably the biggest name guys from there. Jose Quintana, currently one of the big names from Colombia, big mentor to Patino. Lived with him during the COVID shutdown last year. Learned a ton. His 1-2 pitch to Hunter Renfroe. Taken for ball 2.
Well, right now he's trying to find a way to get a ground ball double play, and his other young star just kind of encouraging him to be in the moment.
How good is that? 20-year-old shortstop there taking charge. Martinez aboard with the leadoff single. A 2-2 from Patino to Renfroe. Pop straight back. It was a bit of a surprise seeing Patino in last night's game because he was the supposed starter for tonight.
Right.
They didn't have a whole lot of choice at that point, though. He's the 9th pitcher they used. Came on in the 12th inning. His 2-2 offering again is down and away, and the count is full.
Well, you can get into mode where you're trying to make perfect pitch after perfect pitch. After he got 2 strikes, he's really tried to make that perfect pitch and has not come close to the strike zone, and they're witnessing that, so that's why the bullpen's getting up right away.
Got him. A fastball by Renfroe for the first out of the 6th. Big out for Luis Patino.
That was a big out. 21 years old, being on the road in a postseason elimination game. Not as easy as people. He's making it look easier than what it actually is. So it's a credit to him. Again, these young players are all prepared now for moments that would take years because of the style of baseball they're playing growing up. Showcase games, all these different things that they're trying to get out in front of people.
He faces his nemesis from just a few hours ago, Christian Vasquez.
But last year was an interesting year for a lot of young players because they were in moments that aren't like this.
No, right.
Because of no fans and the intensity, and it just was different, and you wondered how players were going to react this year or even last year through that. And we found that there were a lot of outlier type years that you can kind of misguide what a player is or isn't moving forward.
The "Who's your daddy" chant directed at Patino as he faces Vasquez, who studied the way Patino would approach first few hitters that he faced. Notice it was always first pitch fastball. That's what he got. And clubbed for the first walk-off home run for the Red Sox in the postseason in 14 years. Got to go back to Manny Ramirez in the division series in 2007. On their way to a world championship. Martinez at first, 1 gone. 2-0. Vasquez swings and misses. It was a 9:23 last night. Yeah, he got the best of him for the moment of his career. 9:13 here on Monday night, Marathon Monday in Boston. Vasquez against Patino again. Waiting on a 2-1. And chasing. Eyes getting big. Sense in the moment.
Vasquez disappointed in himself. That pitch probably looked good and anticipated he was going to get something firm, fastball, and it just was a slider that never had the plate.
So now a 2-2. Slider again. 3 consecutive slide pieces from Patino to win it this time. Vasquez down on strikes. Back-to-back Ks and 2 out.
Okay, those are huge, and the reason those are huge, you got a manager trying to get his pen heated in case this youngster wasn't able to get any more outs, and right now it looks like he could finish the inning, which every out saves a reliever for the Rays an opportunity to push them later in the game if they're able to, tie this thing up. These are higher leverage type guys that you were hoping to bring in the game with a lead. But obviously you don't have a lot of choices with only 3 innings left. So these are the kind of decisions that are difficult at this time when you don't have much room for error.
Yeah, strike on Arroyo. Well, the top 3 guys this year have been McHugh, who started the game, Kittredge, who they've already used, Fairbanks, who's warming right now. It's one thing to come back if they're able to do that. But boy, oh boy, what is it going to look like trying to get those final few outs to hang on if you do come back?
They're hoping to have that issue.
Yeah, that'd be a good problem to have, wouldn't it?
Right now, they're hoping that's an issue. And of course, Boston is glad in the position they're in right now.
All 5 runs against that man, Shane McClanahan. All coming in the 3rd inning. 1-1 on Christian Arroyo. the 9-hitter for the Red Sox. Grounds one to third. Backhand stab Diaz. Bounces a throw across. It has just enough steam to end the inning. Yandy Diaz at third makes the play to end the 6th. To the late innings we go in Game 4. The Red Sox 5, the Rays 3. Okay. Warm-up pitches. Kevin Cash sent Choi to the plate. Ji-Man Choi that homered against Tanner Houck in Game 2, and so once he's announced, Alex Cora says, I'm not going to let that happen again. Goes to the lefty Taylor for the lefty Choi.
Yep.
That you can do that.
Yeah. That's why I told you.
So here is Josh Taylor on for Ji-Man Choi, who fouls off the first pitch. A little bit of maneuvering there by the managers, a little bit of a chess game as Cora ultimately wins, getting the matchup he wants. Lefty-lefty. Choi has struggled against left-handers. Taylor has held lefties to a 146 average this year. 5-3 game in the 7th. 0-2 on Choi.
And as per the new rules, of course, Taylor will have to face at least 3 batters. Any reliever that comes in that either doesn't finish the inning or end the inning, you have to face 3 batters in the inning you're brought in.
It'd be a righty and Diaz, and then a lefty Meadows due up after that. So just 1 inning from Houck. 0-2. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. One away in the 7th inning. The MLB postseason continues later tonight. Dodgers and Giants Game 3 on TBS. And then tomorrow, Game 4 between the Astros and the White Sox. It'll be at 1:30 here on FS1. Rescheduled from this afternoon because of a rainout. Both division series in the National League. Game 4 tomorrow on TBS. This was 5-0 Boston after they got 5 runs in the 3rd. Rays getting 1 in the 5th and 2 in the 6th. Yandy Diaz takes ball 1.
Looks like a little thing, but that just shows you the kind of discipline that Diaz has on that first pitch. You want to make something happen, but he didn't expand the zone. And from this point on, the hitters that are the most patient and disciplined will have the better success because you're facing high leverage relievers. And for the Rays, they want the most opportunities with the tying run to come to the plate down by 2.
Oh! Strike 1. Diaz 30 years old in his 5th major league season, 3rd one with Tampa Bay. Off the scrap heap from Cleveland. On a 1-1 from Josh Taylor. Diaz with a big rip and a miss, 1-2.
Tight slider coming off the fastball that he got a call on.
Taylor to Yandy Diaz. A 1-2 is taken low. Count evens up. Yandy Diaz, big, strong guy that you look at him and you think, oh, big time power guy, right? No, this guy is as disciplined and as good bat to ball as you'll find in this lineup. There's some power in there too, but there's more to it. On a 2-2, Diaz bends back on ball 3. Rays looking for a base runner, trying to get the tying run to the plate in the game they trailed 5-0.
So here's a interesting pitch selection if you're Taylor and Vasquez. Do you go to the slider 3-2 against a hitter that's pretty good at recognizing the strike zone? Most hitters, you go to that pitch if you're thinking they're going to swing or they're in swing mode.
Josh Taylor's payoff pitch is popped up. Center field, Hernandez. 2 out.
Yep. Went with the slider.
And now a quick word from Roman.
When it comes to your health, what you do next matters most. Roman, official partner of Major League Baseball.
2 up, 2 down for Josh Taylor. And Kevin Cash will let the left-handed batting Austin Meadows hit.
Well, he's hoping Austin Meadows comes up in the 9th. To do that, they'll have to hit around a little bit, but more than likely facing a right-hander in the 9th inning.
Breaks his bat, roller right side, charging Arroyo, throws him out. Alex Cora's move helps win this inning for the Red Sox. Bottom 7, 5-3, Red Sox in front. And the lone lefty in the Rays bullpen, Josh Fleming, comes on with a couple lefties here at the top of the lineup. Kyle Schwarber's strike 1. The Red Sox 1 win away from the American League Championship Series. Ji-Man Choi stays in after pinch hitting. He's at first. They led this one 5-0.
Outside.
Rays have scored 3 straight to make it tight. Schwarber tonight 0 for 2, walked and scored in the 5-run third.
Inside, 2-1.
2 balls, 1 strike.
He's painted all 3 pitches, 2 of them borderline close to get a ball called.
Get that there? Yeah.
Schwarber, what a year he's had. Just on fire. Historic home run month. Then he gets hurt at the wrong time. Changes the direction of the Nationals. And then he comes over here hurt, has a setback. And people are probably going, man. But he's paid off dividends in a way that now this lineup with him in it, man,
it's different. Just misses there. Count goes full. And we touched on this earlier in the series, but when the trade was made, most people looked at it and said, how does that work?
Right.
They don't need a left fielder. They don't need a DH. Red Sox said, we need him. We'll find a way to get him in. And a lot of that has been at first base, position he had never played in his career.
And yesterday was a perfect example of his attitude, even his humility when he messed up the first play, tossed it over the guy's head, got up next play, and you could just sense what he was going to do, and he did it.
Pounds this one into the ground to Choi, who will win the race to the bag. 1 gone in the 7th. Up comes Kike Hernandez, 0 for 3 tonight. But as we look at the player resume, sponsored by Indeed, this is some kind of postseason player. He's one of 10 players that has a 3 home run game. That came in the clinching game of the championship series for the Dodgers against the Cubs a couple years ago. And he's also one of a handful of players to do several other things. 8 hits over the last 2 games. That's the most in a 2-game span in postseason history within one postseason.
You know, he didn't have a real high average coming into this postseason. Well, it got respectable real quick. Went from what, 200 something to 248.
5 hits on Friday, 3 more of them last night.
Outside.
It's another one of those quiet pickups that didn't steal any headlines, but was the right move for the right time.
No, it really did. And that's why a lot of people in the beginning of the season didn't have them picked to go in the postseason, because it looked like holdover moves until they could get some pitching. Their pitching was found in incredible ways with some of those moves that were under the radar for their starting rotation. Pavetta is one of those where you go, okay, all right, where are they going to get the length out of all their guys? It's the bullpen that came together and really held this team together all year.
Through the left side, another base hit for Kike Hernandez, who is unstoppable right now. Ninth hit in the last 3 games for Kike. This game is featured on the free-to-play Fox Bet Super 6 app. One of the questions in tonight's contest is which team will win by how many runs. It's 5-3 Boston right now, with 1 gone in the 7th inning and a visit from Kyle Snyder. Pete Fairbanks, highest leverage arm they have left down there, and has been one of the highest leverage guys all season for him.
You know, this is probably a meeting where the skill set and the advantage that Fleming has turns into the advantage that Devers has, meaning Fleming likes to work down off his fastball, slider, changeup. I would think they went out to say, you got to work up. We got to get the ball up against this guy, because anything in the middle of the plate to down, he's been able to do some damage.
That includes the game-changing 3-run home run with 2 gone in the 3rd. First pitch, goes after it, muscles it into right center field, and a dunk shot base hit. Hernandez headed for 3rd. Kiermaier's throw not in time. Boston has him cornered.
Well, not up enough, and again, he's been proven he can get to that ball.
Red Sox had just 1 base runner over the last 3 innings. They've got a couple in a row here, and it's going to be Pete Fairbanks' turn to come in with the right-handed batting Xander Bogaerts coming up. From the American League Championship Series, they got 5 runs in the 3rd inning. 3-run shot from Devers, the key blast in that frame. Wander Franco bringing the Rays back into it with a 2-run shot. Back-to-back games of the home run from him. 3rd youngest to have a home run in a back-to-back postseason games. Only Miggy, Miguel Cabrera, and Andrew Jones were younger when they did it.
Great fastball hitter, great high ball hitter, home runs inside part of the plate. Over 95 miles an hour. His ability to pull is great. They are playing him to pull, and they're hoping for a ground ball.
That is Xander Bogaerts, who takes strike 1 and a fastball from Fairbanks.
The strikeouts that you can get, if you're lucky enough to get against Bogaerts, have to be down. It has to be down and off the plate, because if you make a mistake up and middle, one of the best players for this ballpark you'll ever see, with that wall and ability to pull the baseball and get it in the air.
1st and 3rd, 1 gone, 0-1 pitch. Xander Bogaerts swings and misses at 98, up 0-2.
This is a little higher than high, that what he would normally like, but that is cheese. Usually it's cheese at the knees.
more these days.
But let it fly and throw it high is kind of the adopted philosophy now.
Fairbanks pitched last night, gave up a home run to Kike Hernandez. At times he can be downright unhittable. 6'6", and you see the velocity, good breaking ball to go with it.
I tell you, they may not necessarily do it here because of who's at the plate, but he does take a while to get the ball to home plate, and if you got some speed, you could steal a base off of him.
Here's his 0-2 pitch. instead of toss over. Probably thinking just that. Make sure they know I haven't forgotten, Pete says. Devers at first doesn't have particularly good speed. Hernandez the runner at third. Red Sox looking for their first run since the third inning. Fairbanks deals 0-2 and misses low. Bogart's the leader of this team, the longest tenured player on this team. Debuted in the World Championship run in 2013 when he was just 20. On a 1-2 from Pete Fairbanks. Bogarts had one to hit and fouled it.
Tire Stadium standing again.
It's been awesome here. Not too many better scenes in this sport. First and third, one away. Bottom 7. Game 4. Pause forever when time is called. '29-year-old out of Aruba, 3-time All-Star, waiting at home, one of the best two-strike hitters in baseball. Has Hernandez at third and Devers at first. The 1-2. Bouncing ball to third. They go to second, one. Low to first. It's a double play. Fairbanks gets him out of the jam. And this game moves along to the 8th inning. The Rays facing elimination. They trailed 5-0. They're back to within 5-3. Because of the pandemic, they moved the marathon to today. Marathon Monday here in Boston. What a day for sports in this city. Game 4 of the division series with the Red Sox on the verge of advancing. Rafael Devers with a 3-run shot as part of a 5-run third inning. It's our Hyundai lift of the game.
Yeah, there was actually 2 marathons.
Yeah, the one you ran last night, you and Matty V on MLB Network.
That game last night was a marathon, and then the marathon this morning or this afternoon. Well, 6 outs.
And Ryan Brazier trying to get the first 3.
Yep. The Rays know what they've got to do. They've got to get somebody on base and hope that that power that they displayed throughout the year somehow, some way can tie this game up. They did it yesterday in this exact inning.
The hitter Zunino. They've upgraded the defense at first with Bobby Dahlbeck replacing Schwarber. Zunino drives the ball to right center field. Renfroe and Hernandez back deep and off the wall. Extra bases for Zunino to lead off the 8th inning. It's the 3rd time in the last 4 innings the Rays have gotten a leadoff double.
I can't help but think that that right field is going to have a picture for the Rays, depending on how this series plays out. This ball was hit similar, but a right-hander hits it versus a left-hander hits it, and of course we've played this thing over and over throughout the night that ball comes back and hits Renfroe.
Oh my gosh, it looked just like that play.
It did, and so now the Rays have what they at least wanted, a chance in the 8th inning to get a run closer or possibly tie the game.
And hey, guess who's up? It's Kevin Kiermaier, who hit the ball that led to that crazy play in right field last night. That's ball one from Brazier.
Well, the one thing that used to be, and it's not as big of an emphasis anymore in our sport, but this would be an essential, got to get him over no matter what. And then if you can get him over and get a hit, that's like a bonus. But he has to be touching third base after a step back. Now, most people say, well, just go for the 2-run homer, 3 straight shots. It doesn't always work. You bring in the strikeout.
Yeah.
And see, that's not a pitch. That pitch right there, you can't get him over on that pitch.
Shouldn't be swinging it.
No, that's a pitcher's pitch. And that's where a little bit philosophically the game has changed. You're in for fighting for your life. You've got to lock in. That can't be the swing you make in the circumstance. It literally has to be eliminated. Again, easier said than done under the gun when during the year you don't play it that way.
In the air to right center towards the gap. That'll split it. Back-to-back extra base hits to open the 8th. It's a 1-run game as Kiermaier drives in Zunino.
Now that's how you get it done. That pitch and that approach was much better than the pitch before that he should have just spit on. And oh boy, we got a nail biter. He tried to go back outside, but see how it catches more of the plate, and then that allows him to be able to turn and burn. And at least, like I said, get the runner over. Now the bonus is you got him over and you got yourself on, and the same kind of approach now until you tie the game.
Ryan Brazier, who hadn't given up a run in 11 consecutive outings, gives up back-to-back doubles to open the 8th inning. And just like that, the Rays have the tying run in scoring position for the new Mr. October, Randy Arozarena. One of the greatest postseasons ever last year as a rookie. He's still technically a rookie and is going to win Rookie of the Year. Opened this postseason by homering and stealing home in the first game. He's got a base hit tonight. He's reached in 18 postseason games in a row. And he represents the go-ahead run in a must-win game for Tampa Bay.
Now on the flip side, if you're Brazier, of course you want to strike out, but if not, you're trying to get him to pull your slider, because the slider's a harder pitch to go the other way, especially when you're in pull mode. And if you get a ground ball on the left side, obviously you keep Kiermaier at second. But right now the Rays have a heartbeat beyond what they thought they were going to have 4 or 5 innings ago, down 5-0.
First pitch, swing and a miss and a high fastball. One of those guys that just loves this big stage.
So you can hunt the first 2 pitches, but then after that you've got to find a way again to put the ball in play. Just thinking on both sides of the ball what each side's trying to accomplish. It's the cat and mouse game. You want to feed off a guy that's trying to as a pitcher to take him deep, elevate, and throw your sliders down and away.
Swung and miss at a fastball, took the slider down. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Randy Arozarena with a speedy Kiermaier at second, representing the tying run. Another fastball is punched through the right side, base hit. Kiermaier hits third and heads home. He's got a cannon, but the throw's up the line. The Rays have come all the way back, and we're tied at 5 in the 8th. Randy Arozarena with an opposite field base hit. 3 in a row for Tampa Bay to greet Brazier.
One of the few bad decisions for Renfroe. Awesome hitting, ball up, he goes the other way. Renfroe has no chance, even with his great arm. But when he makes that play right there and throws it up, that allowed Arozarena to go to second. That is not the play you wanted. You give up the tying run, but you keep the double play in order, and they didn't do that. One of the first mistakes the Red Sox have made defensively this series. I mean, he's got a great arm, but when he put his hand out to say, I got this, he was in trouble thinking one way, I'm going home.
This game is tied at 5 after the Red Sox led it 5-0. Kickoff pregame show and an undefeated 12th ranked Oklahoma State taking on Texas. And the big noon Saturday game of the week, all starting Saturday at 10 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app. From down 5-0 to tied at 5.
I don't mean to overplay this, but that was such a huge decision, right? And this home run is what got the Rays back in this mix. But that decision right there we just saw put this young rookie at the plate with a great chance now for the Rays to move the runner over and get him in. Because a runner on first is a total different atmosphere, not only for the pitcher, but for the defense. And you got a guy who rarely strikes out at the plate, who is as confident as anybody in the park right now.
Garrett Whitlock on to pitch. Spins one inside, ball one. Whitlock's been their top guy at the back end this season.
Can't tell you how many games I've watched in regular season that result in empty at-bats. Those empty at-bats usually are covered with selfish at-bats, trying to put stats on their card by hitting homers. Swing and miss, don't move the runners over. The Rays have done it perfectly so far in this inning.
One ball, one strike.
This one was a little bit of a hanger. He gets away with it. That was not the intended location. He's given a deep location is Vasquez, because if you hold your glove up high, you might be conveying to the runner at second, if they're looking in for the signs that that's a fastball, and it ended up being a changeup.
Well, for the Rays, 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, 2 here in the 8th. Still nobody out. Red Sox lead the series 2-1. Tampa Bay trying to come from behind to get it to a game 5 on a 1-1 pitch. Wander Franco watches ball 2.
Because now they have showed their offense to be a more efficient way, where they haven't up until this point. Remember, leadoff doubles, we've seen where they haven't scored, but they moved the runner over, scored the run to get that harmless 1 run in the 5th inning, when it's set up by the 2-run homer in the 6th, and then of course all the action is taking place here in the 8th.
What a couple games this has been. On a 2-1, Franco drives the ball in the air, but backspinning shallowly and caught by Renfroe. Rosarena doesn't dare test him, but the throw gets by. Whitlock in the perfect position to back it up and save the day for Boston.
Everyone has a responsibility in the game, and he fulfilled his. That's a huge out right there. They got a hot hitter to pop up to a cannon, of course, and this ball skips right through the wickets. And when it goes through the wickets of Bogarts, there's no chance Devers can see that. And the pitcher's biggest nightmare is backing up bases. That was a good one to back up, because no hit was a. It's the backup that your triples that you're trying to avoid when you're backing up a base.
And he do that 100 times a season, and he might need to make a play one time. And Whitlock was there and did. And now Brandon Lau, who has struck out all 3 times tonight and is 0 for 17 in this series, has a chance to come through and put him in front.
He has a chance to be a hero. Now the hard part's going to be for the Red Sox. We got not a wild horse, but a guy that loves to steal and make something happen at second. They've got an interesting defense right now put on to keep him close, because you see where Devers is. Devers has a good ways to go if he decides to steal a base based on the timing of the pitcher.
Whitlock to Lau. Bounced off the hands, gently to the mound. Whitlock throws him out, 2 gone.
Amazing. Tie the game up without anybody out and a man on second. And now the next 2 hitters go pretty quietly, and the Red Sox have a chance to get out of this in a tie game, which you talk about 2 hitters that could use a hit for the Rays. It was that man right there, and then the man that's at the plate that they went and got in a big trade in Nelson Cruz.
Who has done so many big things in the postseason throughout his career. 18 home runs in this his 50th career postseason game. 41-year-old, acquired at the deadline from Minnesota, has struggled for the most part, but a chance here for one of his first signature moments in a Rays uniform. Garrett Whitlock get out of this. Runner at second, 2 gone, tied at 5. The rookie's first pitch. A check swing that hit the barrel and strike one. So Whitlock catches a break. Oh, 1 pitch. And the dirt stopped by Vasquez.
I don't think Arozarena would do it, but he does have way more leeway to steal third here with 2 outs. And then if he were to do that, put a lot of pressure on the defense on a wild pitch.
Widens the lead some. 1-1 comes home. Cruz bounces it along third. Devers is there. And the inning is over. They're able to get out of it without any more crossing. Good work, Garrett Whitlock. But first, the Rays with 3 consecutive hits to tie the game. They trailed 5-0. They've tied it at 5. Here in Game 4, we roll along to the last of the 8th. App from real-time tracking of every pitch to in-depth analysis of the games. Download the MLB app today to make this postseason major. Major comeback for the Tampa Bay Rays. 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, 2 in the 8th. Locked at 5 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Alex Verdugo leads off and swings and misses at Pete Fairbanks' fastball.
You got some guys on fumes, but you can't tell them now, right? It's everything that you leave spring training with a chance and hope that you can extend this series to get back home where you worked hard to get home field advantage. That's the only thing the Rays are thinking, and the Red Sox are like, we can end it right here.
Pop fly, twisting out of play, and it's 0-2. It's a weird thing, right? Coming out of that inning, if you're Boston, somehow feeling good about it after they gave up the 2 runs. Man. Runner at second, nobody out, and Whitlock's able to get out of it, still tied.
That throw to home should have been a difference maker, and they were able to get out of it without that throw being an issue, because the Rays had put themselves in a strong spot to take the lead. No way we could have thought that in about the 4th inning. This has been a really good played series defensively. That really is one of the only mistakes I can think about that was a mistake that you'd like to have back immediately after he let go of the ball. But didn't cost him.
The Schwarber one, but that's almost comic with him playing first base one of the first times. Alex Verdugo leading off the 8th. He's in an 0-2 hole. Here comes Fairbanks. Shots missing low.
Just think if you're Kiermaier and the retribution, or just what happened the night before, and then he gets the double
right
in the same area to give him life.
Got him back to within 1 on his double, and then scored the tying run. 5-5 last of the 8th. Alex Verdugo punches a bouncer to short. Franco, wide throw into the dugout. The door swings open for Boston.
He's made so many of these plays in this series, it looks like it's just commonplace. He throws off the wrong foot trying to get the speed of Verdugo. He makes a great short hop in the glove, and then the throw just takes it not only away from Choi, but unfortunately in the dugout.
Wander Franco's throwing air has the go-ahead run in scoring position with nobody out. And now Pete Fairbanks and the Rays going to try and do the same thing Boston did in the top of this inning. get out of what feels like an impossible situation.
And the right hitter for the Red Sox is up. I mean, this is as professional a hitter as it gets. We've already seen what he's done in Tampa when they give him right field based on the shift and the infield that they play him. He's going up there with a plan, I guarantee you, and everything he's going through right now is a purpose of what he's trying to do to the baseball to advance and help his team get a better chance of taking the lead.
John, earlier today, Alex Cora said Chris Sale, it's going to take the perfect situation. And he's looking and seeing lefty, righty, lefty coming up for Tampa Bay and potentially a one-run lead to try and get them to the championship series. Could be the perfect spot in his eyes for Chris Sale. He hopes it's the perfect spot for J.D. Martinez, who swings away and lifts one to right. Randy Arozarena cruises under it, and one pitch to get him. Verdugo hangs on at second, one away.
Wow. Again, the attempt of going to right field. He just got his barrel too far underneath to try to get the ball and drive it to right field. This approach was when he got in the box. Jams him inside, which is okay. Because if you want to go to right field as a hitter, that's actually an easier pitch to do it. And he did not get it deep enough to advance the runner, and right now Franco's going, whew.
Hoping and praying that his mistake won't be remembered. One out in the 8th. The hitter's Hunter Renfroe. Fairbanks throws. Renfroe swings and misses. Power against power, and strike one. Outfield very deep. On an 0-1 pitch. That's ball one.
And that's the problem in this field, right? Anything that gets jammed is an easy score, because the read of the runner is going to be much easier when you're playing as deep as Kiermaier and Arozarena is. The read that's difficult is a base hit to left, because the outfield and the wall is so short. Harder to score on a base hit to left, especially if it's firm.
Takes a strike down the middle, and it's 1-2. Hunter Renfroe, yet another one of those under the radar additions who they thought would be just a platoon guy, has been a key player, a career year after Tampa Bay cut him loose. Verdugo at second, one gone. 1-2 pitch. Renfroe pops it into right center field. Kiermaier, Arozarena come together. Kiermaier with a catch. Verdugo heads for third. Here's the throw. He's on. Kevin Kiermaier, throw of the year.
What a short hop catch by Diaz. I know, Cat. They're going to want to take a look. They have no reason to not take a look and take a chance. This throw, short hops, and it's whether or not his hand came off the bag. It looked like the initial read was possibly safe here, but watch it pop up right there, and that's where I think they're going to get it. That's where the little separation of his glove hand, the glove on the base, comes up right there. And remember, the call is out, so it'd have to be significant to turn it around.
John, I don't know if I see it pop all the way off.
I think in an angle, they're going to have an angle. See right there, I think it's off, but it's very slight, so it'll be interesting to see how many looks they get at this. Watch right here. That part's safe, but does it come off right there? There's air, and you can't tell if the heel of the glove is still on the bag.
I think you might be right, but the call is out on the field. I just don't think there's enough to overturn it.
Well, I know what the Rays have been through. they're hoping this doesn't get overturned, and these fans are going to go crazy if it doesn't get overturned. But what a play and a throw and a decision for Kiermaier to get it instead of Arozarena. And just the pickup of the short hop was incredible.
The old oven mitt at the center of it. My, oh my. As it stands, the inning is over. Verdugo and the Red Sox hoping for an overturn. A man at third, 2 gone for last night's hero, Christian Vasquez. Has Kevin Kiermaier gotten him out of the inning? He has. With some help from Diaz. Red Sox have the leadoff man in scoring position. He does not score. What a game. On to the 9th at Fenway Park.
My question, why are they even running in this situation? Well, you could get a ball thrown away. You could come off the glove. But this play right here was so incredible for the Rays. Again, the Red Sox were in a situation where could have stayed at second and got another batter to get the runner in. But this play defensively, we've seen some incredible defensive plays and incredible reactions on both sides of a call pending. And right now the Rays in the momentum have to be thinking they have forgotten about last night. It's now about tonight, and how can they get back home and bring Boston with them. This game has been crazy, and we got something crazy going on just outside the Rays dugout.
Yeah, some fans throwing something onto the field and near the Rays dugout. Back-to-back thrillers here at Fenway Park. Quite a game, Ken Rosenthal, isn't it?
It is, Joe. And remember, it was Kevin Kiermaier and Yandy Diaz in that play last night. When Kiermaier hit the ball to right center, Diaz would have scored. Kiermaier now 3 doubles in his last 4 at bats. That play, he said last night was heartbreaking. Tonight, heart-stirring.
No question about it. As they've tied the game at 5 after trailing 5-0. Best team in franchise history, a lot of people are saying. Record would say so. 100 wins, #1 in the American League. They won game 1 of this series, and it looked like they might be a freight train nobody was going to stop. But the Red Sox winning games 2 and 3, taking a 5-0 lead here in game 4. Now tied at 5 as Troy grounds the first pitch of the inning to first. Dahlbeck to the bag, and 1 pitch, 1 out for Garrett Whitlock.
Whitlock pitching some huge innings down the stretch for the Red Sox. And right now, knowing at home, if you're the Red Sox, you still know that you hold the advantage, right? I mean, the tension just went up, but the fact that you get last at bats and your offense in this ballpark still gives you the advantage.
He's retired all 4 that he's faced. Yandy Diaz at the plate now, 0 for 3 tonight. Takes a strike. Going a little bit off that inside corner on Copa. Whitlock, probably the #1 piece in what you're talking about, this bullpen somehow coming into shape, not just at the end of the season but overall this year. Somebody who had never pitched above AA ball before this season. That's a grounder. Waiting at second, Arroyo. 2 up and 2 down. 5-5 game, 9th inning, and a quick word from Evan Williams, Bourbon.
Get ready for the next pitch with Evan Williams, Bourbon done right.
Whitlock was a Rule 5 pick from the New York Yankees. Tommy John surgery in 2019. Hadn't just not pitched above AA, but he hadn't pitched at all in 2 years prior to this season. And here he is in the 9th inning, trying to keep this 5-5 and give his team a chance to advance.
Well, he came into a super tough situation, man on second, nobody out, tie game, and all he's done is gotten outs.
5 up, 5 down as Meadows climbs in and takes a ball. Meadows, who had a home run last night. 27 of them in the regular season. On a 1-0 pitch, swings and misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's a change for strike 2. Fly ball left field. No big deal for Alex Verdugo. A 7-pitch inning for Garrett Whitlock. To the bottom of the 9th inning at Fenway Park. It's last night's hero, Christian Vasquez, to lead off. Then Arroyo, then Dahlbeck. The ALDS, David Ortiz, our own Big Poppy, with a walk-off home run to send the Red Sox to the American League Championship Series. And of course went on to end the drought. And now here we are, bottom of the 9th inning, game 4 at Fenway Park. Red Sox lead the series 2-1. They led the game 5-0. Rays have charged back to tie it. And the stage set for last night's hero, Christian Vasquez, who faces J.P. Feyereisen.
Well, like anything else, when you're on the road and you're in this kind of environment, the greatest thing that you can do is get the first out. If you're the home team, obviously you feed off the emotion. You create as much tension and pressure on the opposing pitcher.
First pitch. Check swing, ball 1. Vasquez, who hit the walk-off home run in the 13th inning last night. On a 1-0 pitch. Check swing, foul, and it's 1-1. He's not been nearly as good offensively overall this season, but even in a down year, he's found a way to come up big in big moments a lot of times. Guy that loves this stage. Alex Cora said at the start of the series he'll bet on this guy in the spotlight. There's some people saying it should have been Plawecki playing catcher in this series. He wanted Vasquez for the moment. On a 1-1 pitch. Swings and misses. Good slider, 1-2.
Yeah, that was a really good tight slider. Again, not to keep saying like I'm saying the same thing. This wall is such a bothersome to a pitcher. You've got to tell yourself, where do you want to get beat if you get beat? It's not a negative thought. It's a positive reinforcement to say, I've got to make Vasquez or whoever comes up beat me away from that wall. That wall adds to too many good things for offensive players.
Feyereisen's 1-2. That's a ground ball, base hit into left field. Christian Vasquez leads off the 9th with a single.
Caught too much of the plate. Even though it was down, it caught too much of the plate, and the fact that it's on the ground, at least better than when it's in the air to that side of the field.
Winning run aboard, and Christian Arroyo at the plate against Feyereisen.
All right, Arroyo very aggressive on the first pitch. Loves hitting the first pitch, loves hitting when he's ahead in the count. .536 when he has the count in his favor.
It's a guy in Christian Arroyo who played in just 3 games over the last 2.5 months of the year. Hamstring, and then contracted COVID. And they didn't play the final few weeks because Jose Iglesias was so good. On the first pitch, he shows bunt. He lays it down. Perfectly done by Christian Arroyo. High throw pulled in by Lau. Into scoring position goes the winning run. Some small ball for the Red Sox in the bottom of the ninth.
Yeah, there's not many on their team that could have done this. He did it perfectly. That's classic as far as how you bunt. Didn't move the ball, didn't move the bat at all. Just let the ball come to the bat.
So Arroyo with a sacrifice to advance Vasquez into scoring position. Kyle Snyder comes out for a visit as Boston has sent up a pinch hitter in Travis Shaw. Had an at-bat in the wild card game. This is his first at-bat of this division series.
Oh, what a spot to come in.
Back with the Red Sox. Started his career here 2015 and 16. Went to Milwaukee. A little bit of time in Toronto.
So now the pressure goes on the outfielders. They can't play super deep like they may want to because they have to be aware of a throw to home on a base hit, right? So you play the depth you think that you can throw a runner out, even though it's not a super fast runner at second.
Some good arms out there, left to right. Meadows, Kiermaier, and Arozarena. Saw Kiermaier's arm last inning. Vasquez at second, Shaw at the plate.
And Vasquez is going to want to get his best secondary lead as possible.
Travis Shaw fouls it off, strike one. So waiver claim. Brewers cut him loose. Red Sox picked him up. Hit .238 for Boston in limited action down the stretch. A chance to live forever in Red Sox history, trying to send them to the ALCS. Down the middle, strike two.
He just might have caught him guessing just a little bit, but he beat him on the outside part of the plate. So now you try to throw whatever your best secondary pitch is nowhere close to the strike zone. See if you can get him to fish.
Oh, 2. Shaw pops it foul. And it stays 0-2.
Surprised about that right there. That one was right down central.
Leadoff base hit for Christian Vasquez. Christian Arroyo advances him into second. Travis Shaw pinch hitting for Bobby Dahlbeck. Another 0-2 from Feyereisen. Taken high. Catcher Vasquez running at second. Doesn't have great speed. Good arms in the outfield behind Feyereisen.
But he's acting right now like he feels like Ricky Henderson.
Yeah.
That's the way you got to act, right? You got to know that if that is a hit, you got to run like Ricky Henderson.
And faster than he ever has in his life. Dancing around as the 1-2 comes home, and it's taken for ball 2. Kike Hernandez, hottest hitter in the postseason. Any team waits on deck. Nobody in the bullpen warming for the Rays. This is J.P. Feyereisen's ninth inning to try and get out of. Rays 100-win season on thin ice right now. The 2-2 pitch. Bounce to third off the end of the bat. Diaz throws, low throw, knocked down. He's safe. And they're at the corners with one away.
Well, this was going to be a tough play. Once he made the tough part of it, the throw, and at that point, Choi had to smother it. And that's what he did to at least preserve that ball from squirting by him. But it catches an in-between hop that bounces too high. And Alex Cora is going to want to know why his guy was not able to go to second and who called timeout.
And he's out there chatting right now with the crew chief Sam Holbrook, who along with the rest of his crew has had an eventful couple days here at Fenway Park.
I mean, at this point, I think it could end up being a moot point if they let him go to second. They're just going to walk Kike and pitch for a double play ball, but I think somebody must have called time. So he goes through the bag, right? And now he looks. There's nobody at second base. And right about there's the time that's called. So he decides I can get to second. No one's there.
Greg Gibson had already called time. And there are worse things in the world for Alex Cora and the Red Sox staff to settle for than Kike Hernandez coming to the plate with a chance to cap off this incredible division series with a walk-off win. A pinch runner goes to third. It's Danny Santana. Veteran hadn't played more than a month, carried for his speed. First and third, one gone, bottom of the ninth inning. Kike Hernandez, who has 9 hits in the last 3 games. Drastic infield. They play it in with 3 men on the left side. Only Choi on the right side.
Well, the reason I would think about walking the bases loaded is you take away the undefendable push bunt to first, runner at third follows and reads. You can't defend it.
First pitch. Runner goes, a swing and a miss. So now you have that option of just putting them on very easily.
I'm just telling you, this play right now, the way the Rays are fielding, they can't defend. If he squares around and pushes a bunt to right to first base, the game's over. We see that play in the National League a little bit more than we do in the American League, but
sounds like the easiest thing in the world.
It kind of is.
Does Hernandez try it, or does he swing away? On an 0-1 pitch, Hernandez lifts one to left center field. It is pulled in by Meadows. Here comes Santana. The Red Sox onto the championship series. Kike Hernandez trying to take the title, a new Mr. October. 9 hits and the sacrifice fly that sends the Boston Red Sox to the American League Championship Series.
Well, they decided to pitch to the hottest hitter instead of loading up the bases and potentially look at a double play or a little more strategy, and they attacked Kike Hernandez, and he did what he's done all series. Delivered.
First season in Boston for a guy who's had plenty of big postseason moments in his career as a Los Angeles Dodger. Here he gets it down with a sacrifice fly to score Danny Santana.
He had one thought in mind, and that was swinging, and he was going to swing to get the ball in the air. And he did that very easily, and at that point you just wonder if the only chance the Rays had is he left too early, and that wasn't going to be the case on that fly ball with that kind of speed.
Well, after seeing a 5-0 lead disappear and nearly going behind. Remember, the Rays had a runner at second, nobody out in the top of the 8th and couldn't score. The Red Sox ultimately get one in the bottom of the 9th, and they take this series 3-1. Wander Franco and the Rays, no question, better days ahead. So much young talent for this Tampa Bay squad, but no comfort in the moment for a team that won 100 games in the regular season. Let's go down to the field and Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Joe. Kike. First and third, 1 out. Your thought process going into that at bat?
Not try to do too much. All I got to do is bring that run in from third. You know, having Danny at third instead of Vasky eased my mind a little bit, but thank you fans. Thanks for yelling my name. That made my confidence go up a few levels. So thank you for that.
Kike, this game tonight, it was a roller coaster. You take the lead, you blow the lead. What was it like being a part of this with this crowd and this emotion?
It was great. It was awesome. The atmosphere here in Fenway, ever since we got back to 100% capacity, last few weeks, the energy has been unbelievable. Definitely helps us, you know, bring our game a little bit up, and you know, nobody said it was going to be easy, and you know, we got off to that 5-run lead early, and we weren't able to tally. And you know, they have a heck of a ball game. Ball club. They did it to us last night. They came back in the 8th again. You know, but it was a matter of, you know, keep grinding, don't stop till we win, and that's what we did.
You're going to the American League Championship Series. At what point this season did you think this team could do this?
Spring training. You know, when I signed here, I looked at the roster, and I knew that you know, we had a bunch of really good players, winning players that have been here, that have done it before. I knew that we just had to hang in there till we got Sale back, and after we got Sale, I knew that we were going to become a really dangerous team, and here we are.
Kike, congratulations.
Thanks,
Thank you.
man.
Joe, back to you.
All right, Kenny, Kike Hernandez and the Red Sox. He said he believed in spring training, but not many other people did, that this Red Sox team would be here now.
No, they didn't. Leadership of Alex Cora has done an incredible job. Of course, he was gone the year before, and so that unit, that continuity has been incredible. This is an unbelievable offensive team, and they're going on to show their offense one more series at least.
26 runs over the last 3 games of this series for the Red Sox. All of them wins after they dropped game 1. They're headed to the American League Championship Series, and we're headed to Kevin Burkhardt and the guys in LA.